crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery. Nobody lays a finger on my Butterfinger.
Want to sell online? Go to Wix.com today.
It doesn't workload is on things go and create. I can change podcast effects or the recordings. Simplify you one to go. It shows chance to select you to visit. Example is in and out of.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Quarantine Karaoke. So I know we're all like, right now we're looking at new equipment to make the show a little bit better. It's a lot of money, but you know, I'm always looking to make. Oh, hold on, let me actually get in better frame. My gosh. I'm always looking to make this show a little bit better, and I'm looking to always better myself. So we're looking at new equipment, possibly like a way to make the microphone sound better. Because I really like this setup with the microphone, because it kind of seems like it's a concert series. But you know, I would also always like it to sound better, and also when I game, I obviously don't want to use this microphone. So, you know, there you go. So we're just looking into stuff, and that's why we were a little bit late. We were shopping. We were going shopping, because what else do we have to do in quarantine? Just shopping. So hold up 1 minute. Okay. So today it is Theatrical Opera Thursdays. So hold on just 1 minute. Let me just double check that I have everything going. All right, so today is Theatrical Opera Thursdays, as I said, and so I thought today would be a fun day to actually talk about a composer you all probably know of. So this right here is a picture of Mozart, and I just would love to, I just want to take a minute to look how absolutely serious this picture is, because, you know, like, this is a painting. Like, they had to sit there and, like, be painted like this. Like, I feel like he's, like, super mad. Like, I've been sitting here for, like, 8 hours. Are you done with your painting yet? Like he just looks done. He looks over the painting. And I love the fact that the painter got that expression into the painting. But this is Mozart. You all have probably heard a lot of his music, but you don't know exactly, like, where you heard it, or you probably didn't even know that you were listening to Mozart. So a fun little fact to get us all on the same page about Mozart. So fun fact. Did you know that Mozart actually popularized Twinkle Twinkle Little Star by writing a theme and variations on the melody? So it's a very old pastoral melody. No one really knows who actually wrote the melody to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but Mozart took that melody and like just did a theme and variations on that. And what that means is he basically took the line like twinkle twinkle little star, and he was like da 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 da. Like, he went crazy, but he kept the theme the same. He kept the melody the same. He just added extra stuff to the melody to make it interesting. So that melody was just kind of whatever until Mozart wrote that theme and variations on Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and made it a very popular song. People loved it. They were playing it on the piano and all that stuff. And fun fact about Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is that it wasn't originally called Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. That actually was popular in the 19th century when I can't remember who actually set an English poem to that melody. It was originally a French song, and it was about, hey, Mom, let me tell you why my life is awful, because Dad wants me to grow up, and I think eating sweets all day is way more important than thinking logically about stuff. And that was the original song. So now you know a little bit more about Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, probably more than you've ever wanted to know. So Mozart, a lot of you probably know he was a genius in music. He wrote his very first piece of music at age 4. And a very brief history about him is that he basically had the biggest stage dad in the history of classical music. So like everybody, oh yes. Oh my gosh, hold on. I have people chatting. Yes, you may request a song. Hold on. Hello. Yes, you may request a song. So you may indeed. That's what today is all about. Well, sure. All right. We'll have a request. So so Mozart had the biggest stage dad in the history of the planet, and he basically took his son around old Europe back in the 1700s and basically was like, look how freaking great my son is. And all the kings and queens were like, what? That's ridiculous. Like, your son's great. And so everyone was like, yeah, that's kind of what my son's all about right now. So so hold on just 1 minute. Well, I'm sorry, chat. I don't know those songs, so unfortunately I cannot sing them for you. But anyway, so moving on. So Mozart ended up writing a lot of really interesting operas. So basically that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be sharing two of his most famous arias for you, and I'm going to be explaining a little bit about the operas that he wrote in a more fun, lighthearted manner, because I know opera can be very daunting and very much like, who the heck cares? But opera can be very, very funny and very much like, oh, like, what? Like, people did that? It's weird. And besides, it's the precursor to theater. If you like Broadway, that's basically opera is the grandpappy of theater. So the very first aria that I want to sing is by one of Mozart's, I guess I can't really say one of his most famous operas, because a lot of his operas are really famous. But it's probably by one of his most well-known operas, which is Don Giovanni. And basically, Don Giovanni is a myth and a legend that is throughout a lot of cultures. I know the Spanish have a Don Giovanni figure. Obviously, the Italians have a Don Giovanni figure. And Don Giovanni is just a name that you don't want to give your child if you care and love about your child. And basically, Don Giovanni is known for being a womanizer. He doesn't really care about morals at all. He just wants all the women at all times. And even if he's just had a woman, if he sees another woman outside of his window, he'll be like, oh, okay, that was fun. And he'll go after another woman. And he's basically like, he's a terrible person. And he has no qualms about the consequences of his actions. He's a wealthy man. He uses that money to exploit people and to use them. And so Mozart decided to write an opera based on that myth. And so the opera is a bit of a comedy, which is very strange, because Don Giovanni is not really the most liked figure in the history of the planet, but come see, come saw. But I guess in the best way is to make a dark opera funny and lighthearted. So I guess Mozart did a good thing. So Mozart, he wrote a comic opera about Don Giovanni, and basically it does end it with a victorious tragedy. So the story of Don Giovanni starts off obviously with Don Giovanni with his servant, and they're like, hey, look at me, I'm the best. I have all this money and I, can do whatever I want. I'm like the best person ever. And his servant's like, yes, I agree, so yes. And so we come across a very wealthy gentleman's house, and Don Giovanni sees this gentleman's daughter and is like, holy crap, I gotta have that daughter. She's really, really good looking. I gotta have her. So he tries to basically kidnap her and rape her. And her father comes out and goes like, no, you don't, dastardly, scandalous person. And but Don Giovanni looks at the dad and he says, sorry, dude, I'm way younger than you, so stab. And he kills the father. What? A murder in an opera? What is this? So, but then he runs away, and Don Giovanni runs away, and the daughter is like, I will avenge my father. So basically, like, within the span of 10 minutes, Don Giovanni and his servant are walking along, and they see this young couple of, and her name is Serlina, and his name is Mazzetto. And they're set to get married, and Zerlina is like this ditzy, like sort of airheadish type of woman, but she only acts that way. It actually is just a ruse in order for people to be like, oh, she doesn't actually know anything, when she actually knows everything. You know, good womanly role model, I guess. And Mazzetto is this really jealous boy who basically doesn't let anybody touch Serlina. Not a good role model, I guess. Opera, right? So basically, they're set to get married, and Don Giovanni comes across this couple, and he asks his servant to get rid of Mazzetto, the fiance, and he starts seducing Serlina, and Serlina's like, "Oh, excuse me, good sir, I can't have any of your what? I'm set to be married. How could you?" And then, like, basically Don Giovanni's like, "Yes, but I am the main character of this opera, so do what I say." And Serlina's like, "Oh my gosh, no. Okay, I cannot resist, but I resist a little bit longer." And then, like, I think like a big crowd of people start to come by and scare Don Giovanni away, and Mazzetto comes up to Serlina, and he goes like, "What the heck, woman? I saw you flirting with that man. How could you? I thought you loved me." And so then Serlina starts to sing this aria about how she basically is just trying to get Mazzetto to forgive her and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mazzetto. Like, please don't hurt me. You know, you can actually, if it'll help, like, you can totally, like, you know, you can do whatever to me as long as you forgive me, and we can live all happily ever after." And there's a moment in this aria where Mozart writes in intentionally, like, the character change, where Serlina goes from trying to say, "Oh, please forgive me," to see, everything's forgiven. We can all get back to being happy selves. And this is all within the first act of the opera. So this opera is shenanigans galore, which is what Mozart loved. So let me just double check over here really quickly. Yes, Don Giovanni was a pimp. Yes, Don Giovanni was indeed a pimp. Yes, that is exactly what he was. That's a comment from Twitch. So essentially. So I'm going to be singing Batti Batti, which is Serlina's aria that she sings to Mazzetto to try and get him to forgive her. And basically the entire aria, it says, please forgive me, you can do whatever you want to me. And then you'll hear a change in the music where Mazzetto does forgive her, and she goes like, "See, everything's great, we can all go back to being happy now, woo!" So this is Batti Batti from Don Giovanni by Mozart, and I will share with you the rest of the opera after I'm done with the aria. Oh, hold on 1 minute. I'm getting this from a book. So in case you guys don't know, this is a lovely arias for soprano book. And if I say any terms that like people don't understand, like an aria or a soprano and stuff, please feel free to write it in the comments. This is, but you know, I'll answer any question. Someone told me that I was a professional in this. They gave me a whole degree and stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to answer any of your questions. So yeah, if you have any questions on any terms that I'm using, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of them. Batti, batti, oh bel Mazzetto, la tua povera Celina sarò qui come agnellina, e tue bode poter aspettar. Lascerò strizziar mie crine, lascerò calvar miei occhi e leccare tue mani, e io poi saprò baciar, saprò baciar, baciar, saprò baciar. Batti, batti, oh bel masetto, la tua poveranzellina sarò qui come agnellina e tu poteranno aspettar. Oh, te masetto, batti, batti, sarò qui, e tu poteranno aspettar. Allo vero, a non corre, a non corre, allo vedo non corre. Pace, pace, vita mia, pace, pace, oh vita mia, incontenti in allegria, non te voglio ammassar, non te voglio ammassar, non te voglio ammassar, non te voglio ammassar. Pace, pace, oh vita mia, pace, pace, oh vita mia, incontenti e allegria, non te voglio ammassar, sì, 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 non te voglio ammassar, sì, 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 non te voglio ammassar, voglio passar, voglio passar. Oh my gosh. Okay. I have people helping me with this as well to make sure that it all looks good. So there are a few adjustments that I need to make. So I will be a little bit, I'll just be right back in just 2 minutes to finish the story of Don Giovanni. But really quickly, that was the aria Batti Batti o bel mazzetto, which basically translates to beat me, oh beautiful mazzetto. Mazzetto is his name. And basically, it's all very facetious, like, oh, if it'll make you feel better, if it'll make you forgive me, please do whatever you need to me in order to forgive me. And it's all very facetious. It's all played for laughs. So don't worry. She's not actually asking him to beat her. That'd be terrible. Opera is terrible sometimes. We do touch on very dark subjects, but this is not one of those times. This is a very, very funny, sweet sort of little aria, even though it's very facetious in its words. So I will be right back. I have to fix a couple things for the stream, and I'll be right back. All right, perfect. So I had to fix a couple of things before I went back online. Mostly, oh my gosh, I have to fix this now. What the heck? There we go. See, everything's fine now. This is why I have people helping me who know actually how to stream. So you would think going on my second week of doing quarantine karaoke, I'd be able to figure this stuff out, but every single stream presents its new fair share of problems. So we learn as we go. So anyway, so that's basically, those are the main characters of the opera. Remember, we have Don Giovanni, his servant, the daughter that he tried to take advantage of, Serlina and Mazzetto. And so, and Don Giovanni just murdered the woman's father. And so eventually a lot of shenanigans happen, and eventually we find ourselves in a graveyard in the opera. And basically Don Giovanni goes like, hey, haha, I am the best. I am I'm the best person in the whole entire world. No one can capture me. Ha ha ha. And a ghost comes out, and it's the ghost of the father that he killed, and basically is like, I will have my revenge on you, good sir. And his servant, Don Giovanni's servant, is like freaking out. He's like, holy crap, there's a ghost. Dang. So holy crap. So they, but Don Giovanni doesn't like really care. He's like, ghost. So whatever. If any of you have seen BuzzFeed's Unsolved, there's you can think of the servant as Ryan Bergara, and you can think of Don Giovanni as Shane Madej. Whatever. So then Don Giovanni goes back to his house, and the servant's all freaked out because he saw the ghost. And our whole entire bunch of cast of characters finally figure out that Don Giovanni is the person that they've been trying to capture, being like, he's a terrible jerk. And so they are trying to go onto his mansion, and Don Giovanni's just having a nice dinner, and then the ghost of the father comes out of the fireplace in like hellfire and like duels Don Giovanni again, but because he's dead, he can't lose. And so he kills Don Giovanni, and Don Giovanni gets dragged to hell, and the father looks at the audience and is like, that's right, I avenged myself. And he like goes back into the fireplace, and everyone in the audience is probably like, wait, what? What just happened? And that's how the opera ends. The opera ends with the ghost of the father basically solving everyone's problems, basically banishing this terrible pimp person back like to hell. Like that's like, so it's basically like a Deus Ex Machina, really, with this opera. It's probably one of the most ridiculous operas you'll ever go see if you watch it. You can actually watch a lot of these operas online on YouTube, especially nowadays with quarantine, because, they're able to basically make everything better. So, thank you. Thank you very much. I believe Miss Merit on Facebook. Thank you very much. So onward to Mozart's probably best known opera, which is called The Magic Flute. And you all probably know The Magic Flute because of this certain aria. So let me pull it up really quick. So you all probably know this aria. But, hold on. But I just played it for you. Oh no. Oh dearest. Did I not play it well? Hold on, did I not play it loud enough? Anyhoozle. So you probably all know that aria. It actually plays at Christmas, which is weird. I heard it the other day in a car commercial. So you probably all know that one. But that's probably one of the best known Mozart arias, and I am currently learning it. So hopefully I'll be able to sing it one day on stream for you. But I'll be singing a different aria from that exact same opera. And so The Magic Flute is basically one of the most absolute craziest operas you can ever go see. It is a complete fantasy story. There are fairies. There is magic. There is an evil king. There's so much craziness that's going on in this opera. But basically, because it's so convoluted and crazy, the best way that I can just describe it is just go watch The Magic Flute. Like, just go watch it. You can find it on YouTube. It's free. You probably, like, you can skip through a bunch of the music stuff because a lot of it does repeat. But it's just absolutely nuts. But so the aria that I'm going to sing for you is called Ach, ich Füß, and it is in German, and basically it comes on Act 2, and basically a summarization of what's going to happen is the girl who sings this aria is called Pamina, and Pamina basically she goes up to her love Tamino, and those are the two main characters of the story. We've got Pamina and Tamino. And Tamino basically is going through these trials in order to marry Pamina, as any good fairy tale does. And so basically Tamino is going through this trial of silence. Like, he cannot speak. And by this point in the opera, because this is Act 2, Pamina and Tamino love each other. Like, they have declared their love for each other. Everything's hunky-dory. It's whatever. Blech, but it's fine. But he's going through this test of silence. Like, so he can't talk to anybody. Otherwise, he cannot marry Pamina. And he has to, like, stay quiet until they basically say that he can talk again. So basically he comes across Pamina, and Pamina just goes like, she's going through some doubts. She's like, I don't know about this whole like you, me, love thing. Just tell me that you love me, and then I'll make sure that everything's fine. And Tamino, he can't speak, so he can't tell her that she loves him. And apparently Tamino never learned to write, because he doesn't even write to her saying like, hey, don't worry, sweetie. I am, kind of busy taking a trial. I'll talk to you later, sweetie. Could love you, bye. Like a little winky face. No, he doesn't do any of that. He just leaves her. And I'm like, what's wrong with you, Tamino? Like, she asked you to say that you love her. You don't even write it down. Or did you never go to school? But so that's not even like the weirdest part of this opera. So after Tamino leaves, after like not wanting to confess his love to Pamina because he can't, because he's silent, even though he could have written it down, Pamina then has this whole moment to herself in the opera, and she goes like, well, if he doesn't love me, I guess I'm gonna die now. And they're just like, you went from 0 to 100 in like negative seconds. Like, holy crap. So I'm going to be singing Ach, ich Füß, which is the aria she sings immediately after Tamino exits the stage. And basically all she says is, without his breath, without him, without his voice, without him in my life, nothing is worth living. So this is Ach, ich Füß from The Magic Flute. Es ist frisch so that was Achig Füss from The Magic Flute by Mozart. And really and truly, Achig Füss is the only sad aria in the entirety of The Magic Flute. And literally right after that aria is sung, it is never mentioned again. Like, the entire opera goes like, oh yeah, we have this sad moment. Well, that was nice. Let's get back to the crazy. And that is, it's honestly the most ridiculous opera I have ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen it 3 times, and every single time it always gets me. I actually saw it as a video game opera. I think Pacific Opera Project put it on, and they like had Link as the main character, and Pamina, who sings the aria that I just sang for you, she was Zelda. It was crazy, and you can do that with the Magic Flute because it's just absolutely insane. It's kind of like Seussical the musical, except for opera. It's nuts. So yeah. That is basically those are the 2 Mozart arias that I wanted to share for you. One of them was from Don Giovanni, and the other one was from the Magic Flute. And this is all just me saying, don't worry, go watch opera. Opera is very interesting and very funny. And honestly, I know it's very daunting because of the language barrier. I sang in Italian, and then I just sang in German. But honestly, with subtitles, it's so much easier to like figure out and watch and listen to. And honestly, I would recommend actually watching opera first on YouTube, because then you can get a feel for it. You can pause it when you want to. You can like skip through some stuff that you're just like not understanding. But like it's a little bit easier to like start your road to opera, because that's how I started out. I was watching YouTube videos of it, and sometimes like opera is long, just like theater is long, and if you want to like get up and go to the bathroom, you can pause the video, and then you won't miss anything. Because opera is kind of like that. You miss like one section, and then you're like, kind of like, oh crap, what's going on in the plot? But then like you don't really know when those sections are, because some sections go on forever. And then you're like, yes, we get it, you're sad. But then you miss one section, and you're just like, I have no idea what's going on anymore. So, but anyway, so that was Mozart, and I'm sure that you've heard plenty of his music before. But this is just me saying, go watch his operas. Mozart is great. Mozart is actually one of the best opera composers out there. And now, whenever you hear that car commercial, you'll think of Mozart, because you know that it's from an opera. And hopefully I'll be able to sing that aria for you one time when I finally learn it. So I did want to move on from Mozart to another composer you guys all probably also know, and that is Beethoven. And Beethoven, everyone knows Beethoven. Like everyone knows like the da 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 da. Like we all know that. Like that little melody. That's Beethoven. In case you didn't know, Beethoven wrote that. It's the Ode to Joy. I'm sure maybe most of us know that that's the title of it. And it's actually sung in German, and I know the lyrics. So, Freude, Freude, Goethe, Funken, Tochter aus Elysium. It's because I have literally sung that 10,000 times. And it's at the very end of his 9th symphony. Oh, thank you. Have a good day. Thank you so much for stopping by on the stream. This is from Twitch, so thank you so much for stopping by. So back to Beethoven. You probably have all heard that. And as a singer with the LA Master Chorale and the Pacific Chorale, like we sing that a lot. But I guess a lot of you didn't know that Beethoven actually wrote an opera. He wrote one opera in his entire career, just one opera, and that's because he hated writing it. It took him like 5 years, I believe, to write this opera, because he despised writing it. But he had to write it because he was commissioned to, like somebody was paying him to write an opera. So, and this opera is very convoluted as well. But the song I wanted to sing for you is by the main lead character, and the opera's first is called Fidelio. And this is like one of the first few arias that we get to hear. And she basically sings about her love, about a man who she wants to marry. And she doesn't know that man is disguised as a woman, because Fidelio, the name of the woman disguised as a man, her disguise is named Fidelio. And my character, Marcellina, is in love with Fidelio. And what she doesn't know is that Fidelio is actually a woman, and that woman is there to get her husband out of jail. Hijinks ensue. So this is Over ich schon from Fidelio. And basically all the aria is saying like, oh man, I wish we were married like right now because like I love him so much and I cannot wait for us to like share the same bed together, and I cannot wait for us to like go on like dates together, and I cannot wait for us to like, you know, do all of the cute stuff. Oh, can we have dinner together? Like that's all that the aria is about. And she even says like at the end of the aria saying like, I will be a real woman once we get married. So that's what Over ich schon is about. So it's a very, very cute aria. And so I'm going to sing it for you right now. Over ich schon mit dir vereint und dürfte man dich nennen. Ein Mädchen darf ja, was es meint, zur Hälfte nur bekennen. Doch wenn ich nicht erröten muss, ob einem warmen Herzenskuss, wenn nix und steht auf Erden. Die Hoffnung schon erfüllt die Brust mit unerschwinglich süßer Lust. Wie glücklich will ich werden, wie glücklich will ich werden. Die Hoffnung schon erfüllt die Brust mit unerschwinglich süßer Lust. Wie glücklich, glücklich, ja, wie glücklich will ich werden. In Ruhe, stiller Häuslichkeit erwacht jeden Morgen ein Mädchen, das ja was es meint, zur Hälfte nur bekennen. Und ist die Arbeit abgetan, dann schleicht die holde Nacht heran, da ruhen wir von Beschwerden. Die Hoffnung schon erfüllt die Brust mit unerschwinglich süßer Lust. Wie glücklich will ich werden, wie glücklich will ich werden. Die Hoffnung schon erfüllt die Brust mit unerschwinglich süßer Lust. Wie glücklich, glücklich, ja, wie glücklich will ich werden. Die Hoffnung schon erfüllt die Brust mit unerschwinglich süßer Lust. Wie glücklich, wie glücklich werden. Ja, wie glücklich, glücklich Okay, so I have a comment on Twitch from hold on, let me see. On one, I'm gonna say like one. But yes, I can say my heart will go on. I can do that. So stick around to the end of the stream, and I will get that request for you at the very end. Just because, you know, I like taking requests, and that's also one of my favorite songs. So I will definitely sing that for you. So don't you worry about a thing. But basically, hold on. Oh, we have 15 minutes left. Yeah. So I just wanted to say a little bit about Beethoven. So Beethoven only wrote one opera, and that's Fidelio, which is where that aria is from. I personally actually haven't seen Fidelio. I've studied it a lot, but I know that you can find it on YouTube because I actually have seen a little clickbait of it on YouTube. But yeah, Beethoven only wrote one opera. He wrote a couple of vocal songs, but Beethoven was really more interested in the instrumental side. So if you want to listen to Beethoven, go listen to his symphonies. You probably already know one of his symphonies, his Fifth Symphony. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. That's Beethoven. That's Beethoven. And then also the da 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 da. Beethoven. That's his Ninth Symphony. So go listen to the Fifth and Ninth Symphony if you want to listen to Beethoven. If you want to listen to my favorite Beethoven, that would be his Sixth Symphony, which you all probably know if you grew up with Disney, because that was in Fantasia. They did Beethoven's Sixth Symphony. They set it to like the pastoral with the centaur women and the unicorns. So that's from Disney. So you can go listen to Beethoven there. So basically, that has been, before I get to the request of My Heart Will Go On, that's been basically Quarantine Karaoke, the theatrical opera Thursdays. I hope you learned a little bit about Mozart and Beethoven. I know that they're the most well-known composers, so I wanted to touch on them just briefly and just open you up to a couple of their operas and a couple of some of my favorite arias from those operas. So just to recap, we listened to Mozart, we listened to Don Giovanni, and we also listened to the Magic Flute. Both of those you can find on YouTube. And from Beethoven, we listened to Fidelio, but go listen to his symphony, specifically his Fifth, Sixth, and Ninth Symphonies, if you want to listen to anything like that. So I'm going to go quickly do a request that I got from Twitch by Un1, and that, or I guess I could just say On One, I guess. But they want me to sing My Heart Will Go On. So I'm going to sing that very quickly, and then I will sign off with you. And I'll just have a little bit of ending announcements really quick. And so this is My Heart Will Go On.
Trees are nature's solution to climate change, and you can help plant millions by switching your search engine to Ecosia.
See, if you request a song, I will probably sing it for you, even if it's on the wrong day. So this is My Heart Will Go On by a request on Twitch. How
I'm Kara, and
Commercials on YouTube. Well, thank you. I have a lot of comments on Twitch. So hold on. I'm currently streaming to 3 different platforms: YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So thank you so much. And I would sing "Money, Money, Money" from ABBA if I do know it, but I don't like to like give stuff out like that is subpar. I would like to practice it first. So if you come back tomorrow for Fun Fridays, I will definitely sing "Money, Money, Money" for you, because I would like to find like a good track on YouTube so that doesn't sound crappy and cheap. And I would also like to just practice it for you really quick so that I can actually give it to you in a nice sort of like professional package, because apparently people think that I do this for a living, which I do. I am a professional singer for a living. So yeah. So, thank you so much for the follow. I will definitely do "Money, Money" for you tomorrow. But I think that's gonna conclude today for quarantine karaoke. A few announcements. Yes. What time? So a few announcements. Quarantine karaoke goes on every weekday from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So Mondays is Musical Theater Mondays. Tuesdays is Top Hits Tuesdays. Wednesday is Walt Disney Wednesdays. Thursday is Theatrical Opera Thursdays, where I basically Thursday's more like a blog and I sing a little bit. So this is more just basically showing that opera isn't as scary as a lot of people think it is. And then Friday is Fun Fridays, where I get to sing whatever I want. I have a request to do some Portal songs, so I'll be doing some video game songs tomorrow. I'll be doing "Money, Money, Money." So if you're on tomorrow, right here from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's when Fun Fridays will be going live on my Twitch channel. And thank you so much for the follow. That means a lot. So there you go. So if during the stream you feel like you wanted to donate, here are the links above, and there's also a handy dandy donate button down in Twitch. But I would much prefer if because I know that a lot of people are kind of down on their luck right now because of the strangeness of the world that we live in. And besides, Quarantine Karaoke was a series that I decided to make and produce and do myself, just to bring a little bit of light and joy into the world in these really strange times. So the best way that you can support the show is by subscribing to my YouTube, which is youtube.com/Sarah Lonsert. And you can also subscribe to my Twitch channel and follow me on my Twitch channel, like the lovely, hold on, I don't want to butcher your name, 4S4. So just like they did. So thank you so much for that follow. And that's honestly the best way that you can support the show. That costs you absolutely nothing, because I know that we all are going through really tough times right now. So this show is mostly to make people smile and have a good time and bring some entertainment. So those are really quick and easy ways that you can support the show. So I will see you all tomorrow for Fun Fridays, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'll be doing just a bunch of fun songs, maybe play a bit of Twitch Sings. Who knows? We'll figure it out as we go on. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for everyone who was chatting. And hopefully I'll be able to chat more tomorrow, because I'll be interacting with the chat more also tomorrow, because we're just going to have fun and we're going to just play games. So tomorrow is a fun day for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been very, very fun, and I will see you all tomorrow.
We don't smoke the we just sell it. We reserve that right for the young, the poor, the black, and the
Thank you.